That's not the correct way to do it. Here we have a later stage of wilting. And this is the correct way to do it. You really need to get the center of the container wet. The water typically tends to run down the sides and out of the bottom without wetting the middle where the root mass is. So it's really important to thoroughly water your container plants. Another thing that's important is to leave a proper water head when you pot them to begin with, so you have room for the water to pool up before it drains out. So that plant is just now re-wet.
And it was pretty dried up.
Yeah, it's very wilted. We can watch it come back. Never top water geraniums and other plants that are susceptible to rust. It can set in within 14 minutes. This obviously isn't a geranium, but it didn't.
What sets in?
Rust.
Rust?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Within 14 minutes of the water sitting on the leaf of a geranium, the rust can set in, and then it has to be treated to go away. So, we'll correctly water this one. You always want to make sure that the plant's level, the container, when you're watering it, so it doesn't drain out of one side. And always be careful when you top water.
Careful of?
Knocking all the flowers off of the annual that you're trying to water,
right.
Or, you know, as in some cases, you don't want to get water on the leaves at all. African violets, geraniums. There's a number of them. So now these plants have both been properly watered. And this one will come back.
So if you were going to be watering those...
These dahlias?
Yes. How would you go about it?
Pick each one up. Wait till it drains out of the bottom once you've filled the water head. And repeat as needed, depending on how much water the plant needs. This one was fairly heavy when I picked it up. So it's good.
And how long does it take you to water this house?
It takes me about 5 hours to water this house.
Really?
And that's if you go and you pick every container up individually, wait for it to drain, and make sure every one of them is soaked to the middle. You could water this house in an hour or an hour and a half if you just go through and top water, but that means that the water won't penetrate the soil to where the root mass is. So the next day you could come back, and even though you spent an hour or two in here watering, everything could be wilted. Voila!
Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.